folks, we are back. I'm going to take a couple final calls, and then we got Mark Dice on for the full hour. We're going to do a little Angels and Demons. I might take some calls with the Dice Man. The Dice Man cometh. We're carrying a couple of his books right now, Resistance Manifesto, The Illuminati, Fact versus Fiction, I believe it is. Fact or Fiction, Fact and Fiction. And then there's another book, an older book we're really going to get into when he's there that he republished, and we're carrying on Infowars. So go check that out as well. Stephen in Texas, you're on the line.
Yes. Yes. Is this Mr. Bermas?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I want to take issue with you for something you did earlier.
Okay.
I do not appreciate the way you mischaracterized me. First of all, you did a very horrible impression of me.
Who are you?
This is Mr. Kissinger. And but the main thing I want to bring up is the fact that you have mischaracterized me as some horrible monster promoting our glorious New World Order. Sir, nothing could be further from the truth. So I suggest that, sir, you go back to playing on YouTube and leave the political fooling around with the big boys in the Grove. And by
Yes.
the way, I found out there that my favorite entertainer was Merv Griffin.
Really? I would have figured you had a hard-on for Jack Kemp and his football, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're not a sports guy, Henry.
Hey, how you doing, Jason?
I'm all right. That was actually pretty good. I'm not going to lie. At first, I was thinking it was related to the Troy call, but you had the deep voice on pretty well. I mean, how long is this guy going to live? I mean, it feels like him and Brzezinski are going to be 175 before they keel over.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't die too soon if I was him, because there's a special place in hell for people like him. Seriously. Listen, a couple things I wanted to address. First of all, you guys have these really great T-shirts out, and I've come up with, I think, what would be a really good one, a good addition to the line that you guys have. You remember Paul Revere's famous line when he was riding through the countryside at midnight was, "To arms, to arms," and they mentioned the redcoats are coming. Well, we need to alter that to the red jackets are coming.
Are here. Forget the red. Maybe the redcoats are here. Maybe we'll do the redcoats are here, and we won't do that. That's actually a really good one. I got to get on that. Maybe I can make some bucks on that one.
Yeah.
There's Steven. That's a good one, man. That's actually,
I
you know
was
what?
thinking about that.
If we did maybe an outline too, kind of like a few multicolors, make it kind of like the Change poster, make it that kind of like a Shepherd, whatever, Shepherd Ferry. What a name, Shepherd Ferry style. That'd be a good idea. I like it, Steven. What else you got?
The other thing is this, from what I can see, Alex really harps on this, and for good reason. I think the main thing, the main obstacle in convincing Americans of what's really going on is this getting them past this right versus left thing. And now, Jason, I am as hardcore of a Christian as you're going to find. I mean, I'm a Bible believer. I believe in Jesus Christ as the only way of salvation. But you see, I'm different from a lot, the majority of Christians in this country. And I say this to my, our shame, because of all people, we ought to be the most vigilant if we really believe what the Bible says. And the thing I'm getting at is, I find that and see if I'm wrong about this, I think it's the so-called right conservatives that are the hardest people to convince about.
No, I'm with you. Listen, they want to stay in their beliefs. You can expose, the left, crimes of the left all day. They won't hear the crimes of the right. They won't make the connection. It's both sides. I'm with you there. I think, I'm not going to take up arms with the Christians because I like a lot of Christians. Obviously, I'm about to have Mark Dice on my program. We're going to talk about it more on the other side. Thank you, Stephen. Right, they played the wrong bumper music on that time. I'm sitting there talking to Rob Dew, my producer, really quick about the new studio setup that we're doing. Basically, Rob Jacobson right now, of course, working on the Obama Deception 2. Well, he needs a new computer for that. When I'm working on Invisible Empire, I'm doing a lot of the bass editing. I also need a new machine, and we're pretty much trying to figure out how we're going to reconfigure the office so that I can get a kind of like movie editing studio in there. I apologize for the 30 seconds of dead air. We got Dice coming up in a moment, but I want to go to this last caller. Anthony Schur in California, you're on the air.
Did you say Anthony Schur?
Well, that's what I got in front of me, but it must be you.
Hey, what you're doing is socially unacceptable. Do you hear that? Yeah, but
well, obviously.
I was just at a baseball game, and I came home from a baseball game, and that's what my father said.
What you're doing is, and what were you doing exactly? Trying to tell him what's going on in the world?
Yeah, I tried to tell him, and I was trying to tell somebody at the baseball game.
What were you trying to tell him? Let's find out whether or not it exists, man, because maybe it doesn't exist at all.
Because, I was talking about the bankers, shoot, I'm all nervous now. The Bilderbergers and stuff.
Oh, the Bilderbergers, that's socially unacceptable to talk about the world's 100 most powerful people, 100 to 144 most powerful people getting together and coming up with an agenda, and for 50-plus years saying it's a golf club, when the main players are people like David Rockefeller, Henry Kissinger, Alan Greenspan, Bernanke. I mean, that's just, completely socially unacceptable, ma'am. I don't know what you were doing.
That's what he said. I don't get it.
Don't give up on it. What you need to do is, it's your dad, right? Have him over. Again, have a movie on in the background. Don't push it down his throat right away.
I wish I could, but I don't think I could do that.
I think you can. You got to have the will to do it. Half of the battle is to get it into our minds that we can keep pressing on, even in the face of laughter, of ridicule, of being ostracized from our friends and our family. Believe me, it happened to me quite a bit, especially in the run-up to be making loose change. I mean, you can't imagine how many friends and family I lost because of my, vocalness. And, I pushed on, and it went full circle, and everybody calls me to know what's going on now. I didn't lose a real friend or family member when it came down to it. I thank you for the call. All right, we're going to have Mark Dice on in a moment, but I want to thank my final sponsor of the evening, SurvivalSeedBank.com. That's SurvivalSeedBank.